live. Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday, everyone. If you're tuning in for the first time, hey, I'm Tara. If you're a regular with me, hello, say hi, let me know where you're tuning in from. How's your day been? I hope you've been well. I hope you're staying safe wherever you are. So maybe it's headaches, maybe it's lacking energy, maybe it's moods, potentially it's hormone issues with your cycle, menopausal issues around pregnancy and birth, those kind of things. Or maybe it's the fact that you have been to your doctor and you feel like crap, but your blood lab results are telling you otherwise. This is such a common thing that we can often see. And big disclaimer here, always do my disclaimers. GPs sometimes they're not specialists with hormones, right? So often they may not know what to look for when it comes to thyroid testing, etc. And also they're such busy professionals that sometimes they don't have the time to be able to really run through everything that's happening with us. So first and foremost, I just want to set the disclaimer with that everybody, every health professional in our life is doing the best they can, and they all serve a purpose. So if you're really struggling with your hormones, please make sure that you specifically speak with a health professional that is trained in this area and that knows about this area, because there's so much confusion and conflicting information when it comes to it. So make sure you go to someone who is he's big on hormones. Of course, you've got me as a resource. So in my Linktree bio, which is attached to my Green Tara Wellness Facebook page and also my Instagram page, you'll be able to access a 15-minute complimentary health chat. So if you or someone you know really feels like they need support with their hormones, then that is there as an option. Whether or not that leads into working together, that's up to you and us, and for us to decide whether it's a fit. But first and foremost, let's get some ideas of what's happening for you personally, because hormones are so, like our health, it's so individualized. But let's get chatting and get the ball rolling of some things that may potentially be happening. And if it feels aligned to work together, then I'd love to help you with this. But in the meantime, let's get into it. Let's talk about healthy hormones at any stage of life. Now, the reason that I want to talk to you about this tonight is because I've been having this conversation with so many clients, so many friends, so many family members, and it's been different flavors, I suppose. But the big things that are coming out is being unable to access blood tests that they require to get a good representation of what's happening in their body, all these signs and symptoms that are showing up, and their bloods are saying they're fine, and signs and symptoms, particularly at different stages and ages of life. So for any women who are entering that premenopausal, menopausal stages, then this is a shout out to you guys too, because this is information that's relevant no matter if you're going through menopause, if you're about to, if you're at the start of your fertility, like you're, late teens, early 20s, whatever age you are. These are generic tools and tips and tricks that are going to support your hormone health. And obviously, if you want more specific information, then as I said, I'm here as a resource for you guys to make that time to chat. Now, I did put in some recommendations in here, but as always, if you are taking other medications, if there is some significant health things going on for you, please consult with a health professional before changing anything up dramatically. There's all the housekeeping done. So let's get into it. Now, how do we know that things are going on? Well, maybe the norms of our blood tests are saying that you're fine, but the reality is that our bodies are still telling us there's something going on. Now, think about this. The average bloods, the lab tests, the averages that they get, pathology gets, is based on the average population, right? Now get this. 8 out of 10 women experience some kind of hormone issues, hormone imbalances throughout their life. So this means if they're taking these norms about healthy hormones from the general population of women, 8 out of 10 of us have got some kind of issues going on. So they're actually taking the norms from people who may not be functioning optimally. So that's why we have these results that we look at that may be saying, oh, you're doing okay. And then we've got these results that we want from a holistic functional medicine point of view that say, this is what we need to be optimal. So for example, 0.5 to 5 is the general kind of range for your thyroid stimulating hormone. However, in like updates have been done since 2013 to say that between 0.5 or 0.3 and 3 is actually more accurate. Now, the closer your thyroid stimulating hormone, your TSH, is to 1, the better it's functioning. So if your levels are higher than that 1, then what it can mean is that your pituitary gland, your brain, is actually telling your thyroid, it's trying to get it to do more. So it's producing more TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, which must mean your thyroid's actually underactive because your brain's having to go, come on, thyroid, pick up the slack. So typically what we see with stress, with chemicals, with our food, and also with menopause, is that the thyroid can slow down, our TSH numbers can be higher. So if you're looking at anything above a 1.5, your thyroid stimulating hormone, we need to look into that and have a bit more of a look. And you need to look at also the other measures of your thyroid stimulating hormone, of your thyroid, not just your TSH. So antibodies, T3, T4, things like that. So if you need specific help, please reach out. Now, our modern lives, stress are the big ones that are impacting the most, as I say. And if you guys follow my work, you know that I just harp on all about stress. But I want to explain a bit more about this tonight in relations to healthy hormones at all stages of life. Now, there might be different symptoms you're showing, like PMS, migraines, headaches, moods, dry skin, acne, bloating, menopausal symptoms like low libido, night flashes, hot sweats, joint pain, and even like we get into menopause and we're looking at osteoporosis risk and things like that. So every case is individual, as I said, but I'm going to give you 3 tips. I'm going to look at 3 different areas. So we're going to look at food, we're going to look at herbs and supplements, and we're going to look at lifestyle. And within those, I'm going to give you guys a few little tips within each. And I want to start with our thyroid. It's our master gland. It controls a lot of things, metabolism, so many different things in our body, hormone regulation, obviously. Now, we need to make sure it's getting the nutrients that it needs. So 2 simple things you can do, and I posted this image on my Instagram and my Facebook yesterday, is selenium and iodine. So what we want to do with selenium, however you want to pronounce it, is take 2 to 3 Brazil nuts a day. That's all you need to get the adequate intake of selenium. And if you can, source it outside of Australia, because Australia's soil is quite depleted in selenium. So get Brazilian. Obviously, Brazil nuts, perfect. The other thing you can do is get more iodine in your diet. So this comes from our sea vegetables, seafood. If you live by the ocean, you've got the upper hand here, because even the sea mist, like we actually get the sea mist on our car here. So I'm actually getting that iodine, getting to the beach, get your hit of vitamin D from the sun. You also get the iodine from the sea mist. So if you're not near the beach though, get into your sea vegetables. So you can either have sushi with your nori sheets or grind it up, mortar and pestle blender, and then just put it in a jar in the pantry and sprinkle like little sprinkles, like a teaspoon a day in total on your food. So that'll help to get you the iodine in your system, because our thyroid, to convert our different aspects of our thyroid, T3, T4, we need that selenium and that iodine. So there's a little food tip for you. Now, we also want to look at our gut health. This is a big thing. Our gut is directly tied into absorbing nutrients. Our hormones and thyroid need specific nutrients like selenium and iodine. So we want to make sure we're supporting our gut health. Now, obviously managing stress, looking at reducing processed foods, things like that. But one really great thing that you can do is even introduce a teaspoon of sauerkraut a day. Simple, really simple. Yeah, may taste not that great. Pop it in my Nourish Bowl recipe I've got on my website, and trust me, I actually really like that tanginess to it. It's not overpowering. So that's a really simple thing you can do to support your gut health. Now, there's a whole heap of other herb supplements, things that you can take, but I want to keep it basic and give you guys some ideas to start with. Now, if you're already doing this, let's make a time to chat and see what the next steps are for you. The second thing, so we talked about food. The second thing is you can start to implement more herbs or supplements. Food first, always. We often go for the quick fix, but let's go for some Brazil nuts, some ground up nori sheets, a teaspoon of sauerkraut. However, often our diets are high in inflammatory omega-6s, which we do need, and I've talked about omega-3s a month or so ago. We need the omega-3s. So these come from essential fatty acids, basically. So fish, flax seeds, things like that. You can go get your wild caught fish and eat some salmon, tuna, mackerel. However, if that's not for you, you can grab some omega-3s online. DHA and EPA is really important ones to get in there to decrease that inflammation. It's great for your skin, really great for eczema too. I spoke about that the other week. So taking 1 to 2 a day of those, and in the blog post from this week about this topic, I put a link into one of the ones that I found that's been really good. Now, in regards to herbs or oils, there are so many that have amazing benefits. So for example, rosemary is really good for cramps, so period cramps. Lavender is really good for supporting that sense of calmness, decreasing our cortisol. And clary sage is really good for balancing our hormones out, particularly during menopause. And I love my mushroom powders as well. Again, disclaimer, make sure that you've got support with using herbs and oils and things like that correctly, particularly if you've got pre-existing health conditions or medications or pregnancy. And 3. So there you go. There's some herbs and some supplements ideas around omega-3s and oils or herbs that are really good. You can put the oils or herbs on your skin. You can pop them in a bath and have a soak. You can ingest them, but as I said, always make sure you're being supported in that. Number 3 is lifestyle. Now, chemicals are one of the biggest things that impact on our hormones at any stage of our life. So think about tanning products, hair dyes, shampoos and conditioners, and what we're washing our clothes in. I've talked about the soap berries that I use instead of washing powder. Everything impacts on it. So, think about going as basic as possible. There's some great recipes online, like even just going back to your coconut oil. It's got vitamin E in it, which is great for supporting your skin health. So moving away from more chemicals, and just do one room by each time, or one product, switch it out for something that's a lot more beneficial and has less of those chemicals. And the last thing, stress. This is probably the number one thing, alongside the chemicals and food, that is going to impact our hormone health the most. The more chronic stress we're under throughout our lifetime, the worse it's going to be when we go through menopause or as we approach that stage. So this is why lifestyle and stress management really matters, not just for now with all the hormonal symptoms that can pop up for us. It's that rushing women syndrome, and you may not feel like you're stressed or rushing, but think, am I always rushing in my mind? Am I always rushing in my body? Do I ever have downtime? Am I just go? Because this is going to be impacting on your hormones. That stress level will go up and it shuts down everything else. So the more we can get our bodies into that rest and digest, the happier our hormones will be. So even 5 deep breaths morning and night, or before bed, or before meals, and really just taking that time. Even on Spotify, Google 5-minute relaxation meditation. Simple as that. There's so many free resources out there. It's just a matter of scheduling it in, setting an alarm, and making sure that we actually take the time to do it. Like after this live, I got scheduled in to go have a bath with some beautiful herbs in it and everything. I've been learning all about these beautiful herbs, and rosemary is also really good for arthritis and pain. So obviously good for cramps too. So schedule it in, because if you don't schedule in, it's not going to happen. So schedule in that time for you, whether it's a meditation, cup of tea, bath, and then notice what happens. Share with me, comment in a couple of weeks. Let me know what you noticed by investing in you. So I know this is such a huge topic. It's so much more than I can cover in 15 minutes, but I trust that's given you somewhere to start. So I've talked about food. We've talked about, getting some iodine and selenium. So selenium from your Brazil nuts, iodine from the sea veggies, and looking at some sauerkraut for gut health. We talked about 2 supplements and herbs, so in regards to omega-3s, and a heap of different herbs that are great for a whole host of hormonal benefits. We spoke then about lifestyle. So go as natural as you can with your cleaning and household products, and look at your stress levels. And if you're interested in any more of these topics and delving in deeper, just head to my website, and in the search bar, type in whatever topic you'll like, self-care, motivation, whatever. These things will pop up for you to have a look at. So I trust that helps, guys. Please, please, please reach out if you're really struggling and you want more support with hormones, because they underpin everything. They're the chemical messages in our body, and we need them for our health, happiness, vibrancy. Have a beautiful rest of your Wellness Wednesday, and I will chat to you all very soon. Bye.